Hi guys, today's videos are a little bit gloomy and they might be a little bit dark because it's raining right now in London. We're having that crazy, gloomy January weather right now, so I apologize if the screen is a little bit darker or grainier. I've tried to sit as close as I can to natural lighting, but yeah, either way, I'm not going to let it get in the way of me filming. I want to get these videos out. I don't want to slack on my filming routine, so I have another manifestation video for you guys where I literally, if you recognize this, the video right before this, I looked exactly the same. I finished filming it 2 minutes ago, and today, this video is all about being in no contact and what you should be doing when you're in no contact with an SP, whether it's a romantic SP or, you know, a family member, a friend. This applies to any specific person, probably mainly romantic because I think that all of you guys are focusing on a relationship, and I'm going to explain, you know, what should you do? What's the right steps as you're in no contact? Please do thumbs up the video and subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification bell, and you'll stay up to date with all my newest releases. And within the first couple of days, I always try and respond to as many comments as I can. I do actually very fortunately get a lot nowadays, so I may not respond to every single one, but if you turn on the notification bell and are one of the first few people to watch, there's a very, very good chance I will answer all your questions and comments, and I'd really appreciate it as well. If you would like coaching, that is a service I offer, one-on-one written coaching in so many different formats and different things that I offer. All of that is listed below on my Instagram page, which is LOA Coaching. Oh, it's getting brighter now, I think. Okay, that's good. So LOA Coaching is linked in the description box, and there has all my prices and information on coaching. So check that out if you're interested, and let's get into the video. Last point, and this kind of summarizes and ties into everything I'm going to say, and that is to persist regardless. Just persist in the whole manifestation. I'm never going to say, well, give up. Oh, well, you need to start again. Or, oh, your affirmations must be rubbish if you're in no contact. No, that's never the case. No contact is pretty normal and standard. If you are starting from a place of no relationship with the SP or manifesting, then it's pretty normal to be in no contact. It's nothing to be concerned about, so don't panic, but do persist. So keep going with everything you're doing and just leave that be. And that is, you know, if you want it, you have to put the work in. There's no point and no benefit to complaining and moaning about being in no contact, you know, constantly repeating it to friends, leaving comments on my videos or other people's video, repeating the same fact because you are keeping it as a fact in your reality. If you need advice or support, say it once and then don't bring it up again, and stop thinking about it in your own mind. That's where the mental diet ties in. But you do need to put the work in. That's just the reality. Manifestation is perfect and magical, but it is all up to you. As you are the creator of your reality, you are the only one who can put the work in. Technically, other people can manifest for you, but that's probably not going to happen unless you have a manifesting buddy or a close friend or family member who really understands manifestation and is willing to do that for you. So usually it's us manifesting for ourselves, and that's why I say you're the only one who can make it happen. No one else can wave a magic wand and say, now all your assumptions are positive. So you have to put the work in daily to change your assumptions until they start to become more positive and until you get what you want. This depends as well on resistance and the old story. What memories and assumptions are tied into your reality and the experiences that you have. If it's really negative and sustained over a long period of time, you're going to have to put a little more work in for a little bit longer, but that's okay. It doesn't mean a long time. It can happen in weeks, it can happen in days, it can happen in hours. Typically, if you are I try and be more realistic. So if you are coming from a negative old story with your SP, I do think it will take at least a couple of weeks, because if it's so negative, it just naturally needs to take a little bit more time for them to get the right ideas and take the right action, for you to convince your subconscious mind that actually this is the real facts, you know, this is the reality. It usually takes maybe a couple of weeks. Now, that's not me putting limitations on what you can, you know, the time frame, because it's up to you. But if you're coming from a really negative old story, it makes sense. Like, it's logical that it will take a tiny bit longer than an instant manifestation. You do have to put the work in, and regardless of being in no contact, you have to persist and keep going with your daily practices. And it can be easy. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, you know, that I'm limited, or that I'm giving you guys the advice that, you know, you have to wait 3 weeks or 3 months to get your desire and your SP. That's not the case at all. You can get it overnight, but if you're starting from being broken up, no contact, them saying horrible things to you, them moving across the country or something, I don't know, them potentially meeting a third party, like if those are the things that are part of the old story that no longer exists, well, those are the things that are ingrained in your mind and your memory. So yes, naturally, it's just going to take a little bit longer than 1 day. Like, you know, it's probably not going to happen in 1 day. So just give yourself a little bit of patience and know that being in no contact is irrelevant, because by persisting and putting in the work, you are definitely going to get what you want. So you do need to put the work in every day, not every single day, but you don't want to have any day where you are just allowing loads of negative thoughts. So as long as your thoughts are positive and you can maintain a mental diet, you can take a couple days off from doing your affirmations, as long as the thoughts you are having are not negative. But other than putting in the work, you want to ignore the no contact. Obviously, that's the next and key area that you want to be doing that really does tie back into your mental diet anyway. And you don't want to think about it. You don't want to analyze it. You don't want to talk about it with your friends. And that's another point that I have, to not discuss it with your friends and family, because the more you talk about it, the more ingrained it becomes in your memory, in your visuals that are coming up in your mind, and in your reality, because you're hardening it into a fact even more by saying over and over, you know, once every single day for 14 days, you know, 2 whole weeks, you've been telling all sorts of different people that you are in no contact, or you've been reminding yourself, you know. So the key area is to just ignore the no contact. There's nothing you need to analyze about it. There's no answers to be gained from it. You create the answer. And the only type of answer you should be creating from no contact is that it no longer exists. And that from this millisecond onwards, you are being bombarded with communication from your SP. Because of your logical mind and the memories attached, you know, within your subconscious mind, that's why you need to be on top of your mental diet, and your conscious mind will think logically and rationally, as well as coming from the ego, and that is to protect you. It's trying to protect you and remind you of your reality and tell you what you're seeing in front of you is the truth. And that's where your mental diet needs to come in and say, no, it's not ego. I'm creating my reality, and this is what it looks like, right? And then list all the perfect things that you have in your reality, and flipping it back into a positive with your mental diet, because otherwise your conscious mind will try and think logically and tell you, it's been 5 days since he texted you. You know, you're not in contact with him. That's what your ego will try and tell you. Then you come in with your mental diet, right? So that is how you get through the period of no contact. And of course, when it comes to your affirmations, this isn't essential because you can go straight to the end. But for me personally, when I've wanted communication with someone, and just in general, it makes sense to add in an affirmation about it. So anything about receiving contact or some form of communication, whether it's text, whatever, from that SP, it's always good to add in an affirmation, because you're specifically targeting that assumption. You will still get your desire if you don't affirm for communication, but if you really struggle with it and you really have a lot of negative thoughts about not speaking to your SP regularly, then add in an affirmation, and then you'll very, very quickly and powerfully start turning that into a positive assumption. Final point is to not count the days or weeks or months that you have been in no contact. And that ties back into my first point about ignoring it, you know, just persisting with everything you're doing and creating that new reality and acting delusional as if you're in contact and he or she is texting you all day long, and oh, your phone just pinged with another notification from them. You know, they just asked you out on a date. How amazing is that? So that's the kind of thought process you want to get into, and completely ignore the fact that your 3D reality is trying to show you the no contact. Doesn't matter, you're changing it and you're creating your own reality right now with your mind. So So do not count or look at anything that would imply you're in no contact. Don't be like, oh my gosh, have they posted on Snapchat, Instagram, you know, are they online on WhatsApp, all these things. We've been there, we've checked people's online status sometimes when we want a message, right? I've done it where I'm impatient and I'm waiting for a reply. I've checked if someone's online, right? And then you get more annoyed and then you ingrain even more. They haven't texted me yet, right? So doing all those things, checking the 3D, counting, it's been 5 days, now 6 days, now 2 weeks. You're making it worse. You're focusing on the 3D reality and going completely against your affirmation. So don't count the days, don't count the time, don't check the 3D in any way. As best as you can, like really have as much self-discipline as you can manage and not check what the 3D is showing you. Just tell yourself, I don't care what he or she is doing, if they're even active on social media, you know, they are texting me now, they're responding right now, and then start going into looping your SP affirmations. So any thought you can have that will imply to your mind that you have it, literally just think along those lines, create those conscious thoughts. So that is my advice on how to create positive assumptions whilst you are in no contact and focusing on the new story you're creating, and how to get through the period of no contact and flip it around in your favor and not spiral because of it. So I hope this made sense and gave you guys some good advice and perhaps some new ways that you haven't been doing yet that you could try out. And do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.